You know your wife's taking Ambien when you wake up in the morning and there is a trail of shredded cheese and sunflower seeds all over the apartment floor, just everywhere. So before we get into this week's video, which is a book review, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the election results this week and just offer my 2 cents, of which is worth about maybe a quarter of a penny. So it's been a tough week. I think if you were like me and you were on the left side of the aisle, you were left stunned by Tuesday night's results. And I'm still a little stunned by Tuesday's results, if I'm being totally honest. That aside, I would just like to say that I think we would all benefit if we would all just come together and sit down and have a civilized, constructive dialogue about issues and not rhetoric. Because if we're all just screaming at each other, we're never going to hear each other. There's a mantra that I go through every morning and have done it for years, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically, and I think I may have mentioned this on the channel before, but basically it just goes like this, that I wake up every morning and I ask the universe to listen rather than to be heard, to see rather than to be seen, to love rather than to be loved. I think it's important. And it goes on and on and on. But I just want to say that I just think it's important that we take a moment each day to just put others before us, to acknowledge that there's something greater than ourselves out there, and that it takes all of us to just take a breath and to acknowledge each other and to love each other. And I think if we can all just, at some point, after we're done mourning and healing, start doing that, I think we would all benefit. Unless you love Jack Kerouac, in which case you're dead to me and I don't want you. Okay, I'm Dan, this Dan Martin Likes You, and today we're talking about Grunt by Mary Roach. This is a book review. Let's just get the basics out of the way first. Grunt was published by W.W. Norton and Company earlier this year. It comes in at about 272 pages. So this is the first book that I've read by Mary Roach, not the first story I've ever read by hers. She had an essay that was included in one of the Best American collections, I think from last year, and it was an essay about hearing loss to special operations soldiers and devices that they're now developing to help them in the battlefield. That said, I will just say this. Mary Roach must be incredible at a party. She has dived so deep into so many different topics just by looking at the titles of all her different books that I would just love to meet her at a party and just ask her questions about all these different fields. In regards to Grunt and her latest book, she dives into topics that deal with, for example, shark repellent, or penile replacement for soldiers who have been injured below the belt. She talks about sleep deprivation to submariners, and that's just a small swath of topics that she covers in this book, and they're just all fascinating. Sometimes they're a little bit gross, but if you are at all interested in knowing the whys of how things are done and how things unfold, this is one of those books for you. It's fascinating, it's fun, it's funny, it's a little bit squeamish. Yeah, I thought it was great, and I can't wait to read the next one that I bought from hers, which is called Packing from Mars. I'm giving this book 2 out of 3 cats. Thank you for being here again this week. I am so honored that you guys watch this video, and thank you for allowing me to just speak my piece in the beginning of the video about the election. If you have a comment, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you guys are reading this month. If you've read Grunt by Mary Roach, or if you've read any other book by Mary Roach. That's it. All right, I hope you guys have a great week. Let's be kind to each other. I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.